Hi, everyone. This is Bobby Allison with the Allison Synthesis. And I was involved in a focus group the other day, and I was surprised to find out the lack of information everybody had when we came to the subject of car seats for children. I found out that a lot of people aren't deliberately trying to hurt their children by not using car seats or the proper restraints in a car. They're just not aware of what the guidelines are, what the laws are, and why it's so important that we have our children in car seats, restrained in a moving vehicle. And I want to tell you that there is no option for car seats. There is no second choice. There is no reason, is what I guess I'm trying to say. There is no legitimate reason whatsoever to endanger a child by placing them in a car without the proper car restraints, car seats. And especially since it's a law, that's not the main reason we want to do it. The main reason we want to do it is to protect our children because there is a high fatality rate and a high morbidity rate. Morbidity means that this is chronic or permanent injuries for the rest of their lives. The children suffer these when they're in car accidents because they weren't not restrained. Yes, you may receive another injury from the restraint. In adult seatbelt restraint, shoulder and lap belt combination, you can get other injuries, cracked ribs, internal injuries by pushing in your stomach if it's not right across your lap. You can even get a broken hip. These things can happen, but that's not as bad as if you're unrestrained and you're thrown into the windshield, or most importantly, you're thrown out of the car, ejected from the car. Almost certainly will end in a fatality, almost all the time. And so we must be conscious about the fact that children are anatomically not capable of handling the stresses that we might be able to handle, and in a deceleration situation, in driving just at regular speeds around town, doing errands, going to the grocery store. But in high speed travel, like on the interstate, those type of deceleration forces, all the forces, gravity, the physical forces that are involved, children are much more prone to being more seriously injured or even killed. So they must be in car seats. Remember, two and under must be in a rear facing car seat. And you must follow the guidelines on the seat and or your state or local regulations about when those children can then transition from those rear facing seats to front facing seats and the 5-point harnesses that they would wear from then on. In the state of Virginia, where I live, they're required to be in that 5-point harness, restrained, up until the time of 8 years of age. There's no specific weight or height requirements involved in that. But recommendations are that, for instance, for rear facing, that the child be at least, in the high 20s, if not 30 pounds, before they go to front facing and to the 5-point harness restraint. Okay, and then they're in that particular seat based on the size. You see the weight requirements on the side of the seat that read the sticker. You may need to move up to another bigger seat as they get a little bit bigger. As they turn 8 years of age, then in state of Virginia, they are allowed to be in a regular adult seatbelt in the rear, not in the front. Up to, you don't want children in the front up to around 13, 14 years of age because of the airbags. So, check, the longer you keep your child in the back, you make the decision on as when they get old enough, 13 and older, if they're big enough to be in the front seat. And then, so once we get to that point, normally it's about 57 inches, okay, is where a child needs to be in order to fit in an adult seatbelt in the rear of the car, and usually they're about 80 pounds by that time. So use your best judgment with that. But remember, in my state, for instance, it's 8 years of age. So look at your particular state and locality and follow those regulations. Remember now, if you are in a bad situation financially and you can't afford a car seat, churches will help you. Charities will help you. Fire departments have donation programs. Sheriffs, police departments have donation programs. You can find a car seat, You may even be able to, somebody might even give you one at a yard sale if you tell them you just don't have any money. But do not, there is no reason not to use them. If you're in a medical emergency, you call an ambulance or EMS. If it's another type of emergency, you call the proper authorities, the police or the sheriff's department or whoever the proper authorities in your locale. All right. There are no excuses, zero, zero, and zero options for not having your child in a car seat. So I say that, who am I to be stern, right? You don't know me. As a former firefighter and paramedic, I went on hundreds and hundreds of car accidents, and you can imagine. I can tell you for certain that a lot of the things that I saw were just absolutely terrible when not only children but adults too were not properly restrained in the car. It's the difference between a lifelong injury that will be with you to the day you die or even being killed. Okay, it's just not worth it, and they really do work, and so do airbags. And we can talk about that in another time. I'm wishing everybody a safe day and a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for coming to the channel. Please like and subscribe. And I hope this information was helpful. Take care. Bye bye.